Rain poured down like punishment from the sky, and there she was, Ava Chen, stranded in the middle of nowhere, clutching her phone like it could save her. No ride, no help, just thunder, fear, and the ticking clock of her brother's farewell party. Her curls clung to her cheeks. Her heart beat faster than the rain itself, and in that lonely bus shelter, she whispered a prayer. Please, someone, please show up. The app kept searching, but fate was already sending someone who would change her life forever. When the headlights finally cut through the storm, she breathed out in relief until she saw who stepped out of the car. Alex Volkov, her brother's best friend, cold, controlled, beautiful like a statue carved from ice, the man everyone respected and feared. He rolled down the window just enough for his voice to slice through the storm. Get in. No kindness, no emotion, just authority. And for a second, Ava hesitated, because standing in front of him felt like standing in front of danger itself. Inside his car, everything smelled expensive leather, cologne, control. He didn't look at her once, didn't speak, didn't smile, only drove. Calm, dangerous, the kind of calm that hides a storm inside. Ava tried to break the silence. Thanks for picking me up. No answer. Just the hum of the engine. She studied him. The perfect posture. The jawline that could cut glass. He looked more machine than man. Yet, something about that silence drew her in the mystery. The power, the tension that filled every inch of the car. When they stopped at a red light, she finally smiled. Can we stop by the bakery? I need to pick up my brother's cake. Alex turned his head, his green eyes sharp as blades. No.
But you have to.
We're already late. But Ava didn't give up. She pleaded softly, stubbornly until the unthinkable happened. He sigged. Fine. 15 minutes. That was her first victory, and she smiled like the sun through the rain. He didn't smile back, but something flickered in his eyes, something human. At the bakery, Ava was halfway out the door when he stopped her. Wait. She turned, confused. You can't go in there like that.
Oh.
She looked down and froze. Her white shirt, soaked from the rain, had turned completely see-through.
Oh.
Her red lace bra glowed under the streetlight like a secret exposed. Her face flushed crimson. You could have told me earlier.
I can't believe
just
you
did.
just did that.
Then lend me your jacket.
Oh, really?
She shot back. Alex stared at her, and for a moment, the mask cracked. Then, wordlessly, he took off his jacket and handed it over. That night, something shifted. It wasn't love. Not yet, but it was the spark. The dangerous kind that starts a fire you can't put out. 2 days later, Ava's life turned upside down again. Her brother Josh left for his volunteer year abroad. But before he did, he left her a surprise one she didn't want. Meet your new neighbor, Josh said. And there he was, standing in the sunlight, sleeves rolled up, sunglasses off. Asterisk, asterisk, Alex Volkov. Asterisk, asterisk. Ava's heart dropped. No, absolutely not. Josh just smiled. He'll look after the house. And maybe keep an eye on you. Her brother's words burned hotter than fire. She didn't need a babysitter, and especially not times him asterisk. Alex didn't argue. He didn't explain. He just moved in. Quiet, efficient. Like a storm sliding into her life without asking permission. At first, she tried to ignore him, but his car became a daily sight. His presence filled every space, calm, cold, consuming. So one day, she baked cookies her peace offering, a way to say, let's coexist. When he opened the door, his eyes swept over her from her messy bun to her nervous smile and lingered. "They're for you," she said, handing him the basket. He didn't move, didn't smile. Then finally, "Thank you." It was the first time she'd ever heard him say those words. And then shockingly, he opened the door wider. "Do you want to come in?" Inside, his house looked like his soul, sleek, perfect, empty. No photos, no warmth, only control. She asked, "Don't you keep pictures? For memories?" He looked straight into her eyes. "I don't need pictures. I remember everything." Ava laughed nervously.
Perfect memory.
Like,
Oh, please.
photographic memory? He shook his head. Worse. It's called hyperthymesia.
Every
I
detail.
remember every detail of my
perfectly
life.
Preserved.
Every word. Every moment. Her breath caught, because for her memories were pain she'd buried deep, and for him they were scars that never healed. He leaned closer. Voice low, steady. "Sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes it's hell." For a heartbeat, the world stopped. Two people, one cursed to forget, one cursed to remember, sat face to face, and something dangerous began to grow in the silence between them. From that night onward, something subtle began to shift. It wasn't visible, not yet, but in the air, in the silence, in the way his gaze lingered. A second too long the storm was coming. Ava told herself she hated him,
How impossible,
that he was
how
cold,
emotionless he is.
impossible, emotionless. But every time she saw him watering his plants, walking to his car, fixing something outside, she couldn't look away. He never smiled, never joked, never let anyone in. But behind that marble face, there was something broken, something she couldn't stop wanting to understand. And for Alex Volkov, Ava was everything he shouldn't touch. His best friend's sister. Too kind. Too soft. Too light for someone who lived in darkness. But light has a way of finding cracks, doesn't it? It started with small things. A knock on the door when her smoke alarm went off. A text when she walked home late. A quiet, "Call me when you get there." He said it like an order, not a request. But deep down,
You will do
it
as
felt
I
like
say.
care. And then, the nightmares
understand.
came. Not hers, his. Because every night, Alex woke up drenched in sweat, gasping for air, haunted by something he never spoke about. Ava found out by accident. She'd gone over to thank him for fixing her security system. But when she stepped onto his porch, she heard it. The sound of glass shattering, his voice low, strangled, tortured. She pushed open the door. Alex? He was sitting on the floor, fists bloodied, shards of a photo frame scattered around him. And for the first time, she saw fear in his eyes. "Get out," he said. But she didn't. She sat beside him, quiet.
You need to leave.
"Who was in the photo?" She
What
whispered.
happened to us?
He didn't answer, but his silence screamed louder than words. That night, something inside her heart changed, because for the first time, she realized the man everyone called a monster was drowning in his own memories. And maybe, just maybe, she could be the one to pull him out. Days turned into weeks. The lines blurred. They argued. They teased. They talked.
Come on, you love it.
And
It keeps
somewhere
things
between the
interesting.
sharp words and long silences,
what we were talking about.
something began to bloom. Ava became his chaos. Alex became her calm. But calm doesn't last forever, because love, especially the forbidden kind, is always waiting for a reason to burn. One afternoon, everything caught fire. She came home early from work, arms full of groceries. He was outside, shirt clinging to his chest, fixing the fence. Sunlight caught in his hair. Sweat glistened across his skin. And for a moment, Ava forgot to breathe. "Do you always work shirtless?" she asked, trying to sound casual. He glanced at her, smirk barely visible. "Do you always stare?" Her
So you came
cheeks
back?
flushed pink.
So you came back.
He walked closer, step by step, until the air between them turned electric. And then, without thinking, she said it the line that would haunt her later. "You should smile more. You'd look human." For a heartbeat, she
You
thought
should
she saw
smile
a
more.
ghost of a smile, but
You'd
just
look
as quickly, it vanished. "Careful,
human."
sunshine," he murmured. "You're getting too close. They
You need
say
to be
love
careful
is
with him.
slow." But this wasn't love. This was an explosion disguised as a heartbeat. Ava had seen his darkness. Alex had tasted her light. And neither could walk away. It happened one night. Ava came to his house after a fight with her ex. Her eyes were wet, her hands shaking. He opened the door without a word. She walked in, trembling, and when he touched her face, all her walls shattered. "Don't," she whispered. "You'll regret it."
Don't.
"Too late," he breathed. And then fire. Their kiss was anger and longing, guilt and hunger, punishment and salvation. Every touch was a confession neither dared to say. Every breath between them screamed, "Asterisk, this is wrong. Asterisk." But neither stopped. That night, the line between protector and sinner disappeared, and by morning, there was no going back. But for Alex Volkov, love wasn't a fairy tale. It was a war, and every time he held her, the ghosts from his past whispered, "You don't deserve this. You'll destroy her too." Because the truth? Alex wasn't just rich, or cold, or broken. He was hiding something tied to the blood that had once covered his hands. The night his family died, and the man he'd sworn to destroy, revenge, was his religion. And Ava Chen was his sin. Yet love makes fools of us all. He started smiling more. She started believing more. For a brief golden moment, they were happy. Until the secret came out. Because the man Alex had been hunting, the one who'd caused his family's death, was connected to Ava's past too. The moment he discovered it, his world collapsed. The enemy he'd built his life around was her father, and suddenly, the girl he loved became the bloodline of the man he'd sworn to destroy. He vanished. No warning, no goodbye, just silence. And when Ava found out the truth, her heart broke in ways words couldn't describe. She'd given everything to him, and in return, he gave her pain. She waited, days, weeks, but the door never opened again. Alex Volkov had disappeared, leaving behind only memories sharp enough to bleed. Months passed, seasons changed, but the emptiness inside Ava stayed the same. She laughed with friends. She worked. She breathed. But she wasn't living, not really, because everywhere she looked, she saw him. The man who broke her heart. The man she still loved. She hated herself for it. She hated him more. But love, true love, doesn't die just because you tell it to. And Alex Volkov? He was fighting his own war in silence. In the darkness of his penthouse, he replayed her voice again and again. The way she said his name. The way she looked at him like he was worth saving. The one person who saw the man beneath the monster, and he'd hurt her. He'd told himself it was for her own good, that she deserved better. But late at night, when the world went quiet, the truth screamed in his head. He didn't walk away to protect her. He walked away because he was afraid. Of her love. Of her light. Of what it made him feel. One night he snapped. The revenge he'd been chasing for 16 years. He ended it. The man who destroyed his family was gone. But when it was over, there was no peace. No satisfaction. Only a question echoing in his head. Asterisk. What's the point of revenge if you've already destroyed the only good thing in your life? Asterisk. That was the night he decided. He would win Ava back, even if it took everything. When he found her again, she was standing in a gallery, surrounded by her photos, beautiful, bright, full of life. She'd grown stronger, sharper, but her eyes were still the same. Ava, he said quietly. She froze. That voice, the one that haunted her dreams, was real again. She turned. There he was. Still tall, still dangerous, still heartbreakingly beautiful. But there was something different now. A shadow of humility in the man who once thought he controlled everything.
How could you?
What are you doing here? She whispered. I came to apologize, he said simply. For lying. For leaving. For everything. Her chest ached. You think sorry is enough? He took a step closer. No, but it's a start. She should have walked away. Should have told him she'd moved on. But the truth? She hadn't. And when his hand brushed hers, the world stopped, just like it always did.
Revenge.
He told her everything.
Always the nightmares.
The nightmares.
The blood.
The blood. The guilt. The revenge. He stripped himself bare.
Protect you.
No walls, no
I know
lies,
you will.
no armor. And when he was done, he said the only thing that mattered. I don't know how to love right, Ava, but I'll spend the rest of my life learning if you let me. Her eyes filled with tears. Not because she forgave him, but because she finally understood him. Love, she realized, isn't about fixing someone. It's about standing beside them even when they're still learning how to be whole. So she took a step forward, then another,
now.
until she was standing right in front of him. Her hand touched his cheek. Then start now, she said softly. In that moment, two broken people finally stopped running. The ice melted. The fire burned clean. And when he kissed her, it wasn't desperate or angry or hungry. It was healing. A storm that had raged for years finally found its calm. Epilogue. The calm after the chaos. Asterisk, asterisk. A year later, the house next door wasn't quiet anymore. Laughter spilled through the windows. Ava's camera clicked in the sunlight, and Alex Volkov, the man who once lived only for revenge, was smiling. Not the polite, fake smile he gave to the world. A real one. Soft, unrestrained. Because for the first time, he wasn't haunted by his past. He was home, and the girl who once got stranded in the rain had found her way into his heart and never left. Sometimes the darkest love stories aren't about perfection. They're about survival. Asterisk, asterisk. That was Alex and Ava. Proof that even the coldest hearts can burn again.